Hi, this is Cheryl Peterson with Healing Science Today. I'm going to read a contemporary Christian Science Bible lesson sermon from The Message, copyrighted by Eugene Peterson, and from 21st Century Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures, a modern version of Mary Baker Eddy's Science and Health, copyrighted by Cheryl Peterson. The subject, spiritual confidence. Golden text is from Proverbs. Trust God from the bottom of your heart. Don't try to figure out everything on your own. Listen for God's voice in everything you do. Everywhere you go, He's the one who will keep you on track. 1 Samuel. Jonathan, Saul's son, said to his armor-bearer, "Come on, let's go over to the Philistine garrison patrol on the other side of the pass." But he didn't tell his father. Meanwhile, Saul was taking it easy under the pomegranate tree at the threshing floor on the edge of town at Geba. Jonathan said to his armor-bearer, "Come on now, let's go across to those uncircumcised pagans. Maybe God will work for us. There's no rule that says God can only deliver by using a big army. No one can stop God from saving when He sets His mind to it." His armor-bearer said, "Go ahead, do what you think best. I'm with you all the way." So they did it, the two of them. They stepped into the open where they could be seen by the Philistine garrison. The Philistines shouted out, "Look at that! The Hebrews are crawling out of their holes." Then they yelled down to Jonathan and his armor-bearer, "Come on up here. We've got a thing or two to show you." Jonathan shouted to his armor-bearer, "Up, follow me. God has turned them over to Israel." Jonathan scrambled up on all fours, his armor-bearer right on his heels. When the Philistines came running up to them, he knocked them flat, his armor-bearer right behind, finishing them off, bashing their heads in with stones. In this first bloody encounter, Jonathan and his armor-bearer killed about 20 men. That set off a terrific upheaval in both camp and field. The soldiers in the garrison and the raiding squad badly shaken up, the ground itself shuddering, panic like you've never seen before. Saul's sentries, posted back at Gibeah in Benjamin, saw the confusion and turmoil raging in the camp. Saul commanded, "Line up and take the roll. See who's here and who's missing." When they called the roll, Jonathan and his armor-bearer turned up missing. Saul ordered Abijah, "Bring the priestly ephod. Let's see what God has to say here." Ahijah was responsible for the ephod in those days. While Saul was in conversation with the priest, the upheaval in the Philistine camp became greater and louder. Then Saul interrupted Ahijah. "Put the ephod away." Saul immediately called his army together, and they went straight to the battle. When they got there, they found total confusion. Philistines swinging their swords wildly, killing each other. Hebrews, who had earlier defected to the Philistine camp, came back. They now wanted to be with Israel under Saul and Jonathan. Not only that, but when all the Israelites who had been hiding out in the backwoods of Ephraim heard that the Philistines were running for their lives, they came out and joined the chase. God saved Israel. What a day. 21st Century Science and Health. Evict the belief that you can possibly entertain a single intruding pain which cannot be ruled out by the might of mind. And in this way, you can prevent the development of pain in the body. No law of God hinders this result. It is a mistake to suffer for anything but your own irresponsibility and narrow-minded thinking. Truth will destroy suffering, and real suffering for your own sins will cease in proportion as the sin ceases. Instead of blind and calm resignation to the beginning or advanced stages of disease, confidently rebel against them. Keep clearly in thought that we are the offspring of God, not of human beings, that we are spiritual, not defined by matter. That soul is spirit, never trapped inside matter. Neither quantum energy nor matter gives the body sensation and life. It breaks the dream of disease to understand that sickness is formed by the human mind, not by viruses, time, or divine mind. Deuteronomy. When God, your God, ushers you into the land he promised through your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give you, you're going to walk into large, bustling cities you didn't build, well-furnished houses you didn't buy, come upon wells you didn't dig, vineyards and olive orchards you didn't plant. When you take it all in and settle down pleased and content, make sure you don't forget how you got there. God brought you out of slavery in Egypt. Science and Health. By not seeing how mortal human mind acts beneficially or injuriously on health, morals, and happiness, we are misled in our conclusions and methods. If we throw the weight of thought on the wrong side, we could actually injure those whom we mean to bless. Suffering is just as much a mental condition as enjoyment. You not only cause bodily suffering mentally, but you can also aggravate the suffering by admitting its reality and persistence. In the same way, you enhance your joys by believing them to be real and continuous. When an accident happens, you think or exclaim, "Ow, I'm hurt." Your thought is more powerful than your words, more powerful than the accident itself, to make the injury real. Now reverse the action. Affirm that you are not hurt and understand the reason why. You will then find the resulting good effects to be in exact proportion to your disbelief in physics and your fidelity to divine metaphysics. You will have confidence in God as all, which the scriptures declare mind to be. To heal the sick, you must be familiar with the great truths of being. Humanity is no more material in their waking dreams than when they act, walk, see, hear, enjoy, or suffer in dreams. We can never treat human mind and matter separately because they combine as one. The power of God brings deliverance. No power can withstand divine love. What or who is it that makes the rules of exploitation and depression? What is it that draws us away from spirit? How do we become saddled by wants and whims? What is it that holds human beings in the clutches of sin, sickness, and loss? Truth makes us free. At first, truth leads the few and faithful free thoughts of truth. As time marches on, those unrestricted thoughts move forward with the motto of freedom. The powers of this world will react, and the old guard will try to stop truth, will try to make it submit to their human standards and systems. But science is not distracted by threats or assaults and continues to unfold. There is always some chaos, however, a mobilization to truth's standard is inevitable. Luke. Jesus delivered a man from a demon that had kept him speechless. The demon gone, the man started talking a blue streak, taking the crowd by complete surprise. But some from the crowd were cynical. Black magic, they said, some devil trick he pulled from his sleeve. Others were skeptical, waiting around for him to prove himself with a spectacular miracle. Jesus knew what they were thinking and said, "Any country is in civil war for very long is wasted. A constantly squabbling family falls to pieces. If Satan cancels Satan, is there any Satan left? You accuse me of ganging up with the devil, the prince of demons, to cast out demons. But if you're slinging devil mud at me, calling me a devil, who kicks out devils? Doesn't the same mud stick to your own exorcist? But if it's God's finger I'm pointing that sends the demons on their way, then God's kingdom is here for sure." When a strong man, armed to the teeth, stands guard in his front yard, his property is safe and sound. But what if a stronger man comes along with superior weapons? Then he's beaten at his own game. The arsenal that gave him such confidence hauled off and his precious possessions plundered. This is a war, and there is no neutral ground. If you're not on my side, you're the enemy. If you're not helping, you're making things worse. 1 Thessalonians. May God our Father himself and our Master Jesus clear the road to you. And may the Master pour on the love so it fills your lives and splashes over on everyone around you, just as it does from us to you. May you be infused with strength and purity, filled with confidence in the presence of God our Father when our Master Jesus arrives with all his followers. 21st Century Science and Health. Scientists may call on one another for metaphysical treatment. However, if the callers don't receive relief or help, they can be confident that God will guide them to use appropriately the temporary and eternal treatments. Step by step, as we trust Spirit, we will find that God is our shelter, our strength, ever ready to help in time of trouble. The confidence inspired by science lies in the fact that truth is real and truth's opposite is unreal, is an error. Error is a coward before truth. Divine science insists that time will prove all this. Both truth and error have come nearer than ever before to the perception of human beings, and truth will continue to appear as error is self-destroyed. Your advancing course may provoke envy, but it will also attract respect. When error confronts you, do not withhold the rebuke or the explanation which destroys error. Never breathe an immoral atmosphere unless in the attempt to purify it. Modest intellectual discoveries, gained with contentment and virtue, are better than the luxury of learning with egotism and vice. Metaphysics, as aligned with Christly logic and truth, is the next advanced step beyond holistic methods. In metaphysics, matter disappears from the remedy entirely, and mind takes its rightful and supreme place. Holistic methods take mental symptoms into consideration in its diagnosis of disease, but divine science deals wholly with the mental cause in judging and destroying disease. It succeeds where holistic methods fail because the one recognized principle of healing is mind, and the whole force of the mental element is employed through the science of mind, which never shares its rights with inanimate error. Divine science eliminates the drug and rests on mind alone as the curative principle, acknowledging that the divine mind has all power. The narrative of spiritual creation in the first chapter of Genesis pronounces good as all that was created. Then how can drugs be poisonous? The Homo sapiens mind grants power to the drugs. Matter is unintelligent, therefore it is not self-creative. If Spirit did create drugs and did design them for medicinal use, why didn't Jesus employ or recommend them? Narcotics quiet human mind and relieve the body, but they leave both mind and body worse for this submission. Science impresses the entire corporeality, namely mind and body, and brings out the proof that life is continuous and harmonious. Science neutralizes error, destroys it, and humanity improves. A mindful practice has the ear and right hand of omnipotence, and assuredly calls upon infinite blessings.